Oops.
So dude, another funny thing happened to me this weekend. I went to girlfriend's aunt's 60th birthday party, and slowly my girlfriend's been very clever at like roping me into like this full schedule of activities and obligations. I like doing the family stuff, but even with like friends of hers who are like kind of loose friends who I don't really have anything in common with.
Press tour.
I found myself just like, I find myself with all these obligations.
Dude.
She's going to kill me if she hears this. But I was at this dinner and it was really nice, but it's funny. Her dad started busting my balls that I've never called him anything. I've never called him anything. I've never called him Mr. whatever. I've never called him by his first name and he started busting my balls. He's like, you're going to have to figure out what to call us soon.
What are you going to go with?
Dude, so, all right, it's funny you say that because it started to get weird at one point because I was at their house in the Chicago suburbs for a couple weeks, whatever. And I started like, I'd like point and I'd be like, I'd say he. And it was like getting to the point where it was getting ridiculous. So I was like, all right, this time I'm going to call him by his first name. And I did it. We went to dinner on Tuesday. I called him by his first name. He must not have heard me. I must have said it sheepishly because I was like, felt self-conscious. And then he calls me out immediately at the dinner.
Oh,
and it was awkward. And she was like, Dad. And he's like, what? And I was like, I called you your name. It was just like,
what's his first name?
Barry.
It's
a good name.
What a great name. And also, yeah, I mean, think about this. What a difference between calling him Mr. So-and-so versus Barry.
Barry's a good name.
No, but it is. But I'm saying, like, in terms of the format, Barry is the least formal name on earth.
Right.
Barry is a buddy right off the bat.
That's your boy.
And
one of the
Mr.
boys.
So if he gives you that, you're gonna want to get to Barry as soon as possible.
And that's what I called him that.
And did he get mad at you for it?
No. They've been encouraging me to, but I'm just like, it's just an uncomfortable thing.
So
Chris knows what I'm talking about.
So he's given you that. Yeah, but dude,
out of the gate,
I think once a parent gives you that, you need to
immediately do it. Yeah.
It's not about, you're not continuing to show your respect for him by calling him Mr. So-and-so.
I was calling him nothing.
Well, you were living in no man's land. Yeah, you're a guy who hits a bomb serve and then comes in to hit a swinging volley between the service box and the baseline.
Yes.
You're making life way more difficult. Get yourself to the net or stay back for ground strokes.
I know.
You got to.
I know. You're right. And I have, and I'm glad. But it was easier because she calls her mother a nickname. I have called her mother the nickname already.
Okay.
Which is like a cute little thing.
That's cute.
But yeah, I'm glad that we finally crossed that hurdle because it was definitely something that was like uncomfortable.
You know what's tricky is that I dated a young lady for a long time whose dad was a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting from, and this was when I was younger. So getting from Dr. So-and-so to his first name was an even bigger leap.
Interesting.
When there's a fucking title.
Right.
You know.
And that can be weird too, because by doing it sometimes you actually are being extra.
Yeah.
Like people would call the house when I was a kid, and my dad is technically a doctor because he's a professor, but he's not a doctor.
Doctor of philosophy.
So they'd be like, is Dr. Gallerati there? And I'd say, hey dad, someone's asking for Dr. Gallerati. And he would go, oh God, yeah, Dr. Gallerati. Fucking yeah, I'm Dr. Gallerati, sure. Like he just thought that was ridiculous.
So my mom has a PhD too.
And did people call her doctor?
Well, no, but she would. When I was young, my dad would remind me that technically that was her official title.
That's nice of him.
Dr. Freeman. Yeah.
Ride or die.
But dude, so, the thing that they didn't want me to call him, they never wanted me to call him Mr. and then his last name.
Oh, okay.
Because if he's a doctor, like calling him Mr. So-and-so is almost insulting. This guy was kind of an asshole.
I thought you were going to say Doc. He doesn't want you to call him Doc.
Well, Doc is fun. I like Doc.
My dad calls the doctor Doc. I'm like,
yeah, you should. Doc? You should. I like Doc. I like Doc. I've always liked Doc. It's very Looney Tunesy.
So, dude, the opposite end of this. So, my girlfriend calls my parents Mr. or Mrs. until they correct her. So, my mom immediately corrected her and was like, no, don't call me that. Call me my first name. And my dad is just like aloof and doesn't realize that she's calling him Mr. Gallerati. But he hasn't realized she's been doing it. So she just keeps calling him that. I'm like, you don't have to call him that. She's like, he hasn't told me. I'm like, he's just not paying attention.
It's so tough.
Well, you two have the same name, so it'd be she can't call him Giulio.
That's true. That is true too. Big Giulio, they would call him as a kid.
So, okay. I think deciding, knowing when to, you got to be given permission, obviously. But at the same time, dude, we're too fucking old to be calling our girlfriend's parents their formal titles.
Agreed. No, totally.
And it would be embarrassing if we did that and they didn't correct us.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because then you feel like a child.
Yes.
You feel as if you are a child invading in someone's home, and you don't want to show affection towards the daughter, and you want to get to bed early and not drink too much.
Totally.
Hey, thanks for watching that video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. If you liked it, subscribe to our channel or check out some of these other great clips.
Oops.